Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to explore one of the most dramatic and symbolic events of the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, the bold strike that set the Crimean Bridge in flames. This moment has captured worldwide attention not only because of the physical damage it inflicted but also because of the political and strategic shockwaves it sent across the region. To understand its importance, we need to look at the Crimean Bridge the way we would review an important product, from its exterior and inner function to its performance, safety features, unique selling points, the cost of its destruction, and what it all means in conclusion. The Crimean Bridge, also known as the Kerch Bridge, was designed to be a shining exterior display of Russian power and engineering. Stretching 19 kilometers across the Kerch Strait, it connects mainland Russia to Crimea, the territory annexed by Moscow in 2014. For Russia, its exterior design was not just a feat of construction but a bold declaration of permanence, a visible statement to the world that Crimea was tied irreversibly to Russia. When Ukraine struck this bridge and turned parts of it into a fiery scene, the exterior strength that once looked unshakable suddenly appeared fragile. Flames and plumes of smoke rolling into the sky turned this symbol of control into a symbol of vulnerability. The sight was broadcast around the globe, and the image itself became as powerful as the military effect, undermining Russia's narrative of absolute security over Crimea. Inside, the purpose of the bridge was far more significant than any architectural beauty or engineering pride. The interior of the bridge was its lifeline function, carrying roads and railways that served as the artery of Russia's southern war effort. It was not only about connecting people but about moving tanks, armored vehicles, ammunition, and fuel. Civilian cars might have traveled the lanes, but inside those lanes was the flow of logistics that kept Russia's military presence in southern Ukraine alive. For Ukraine to strike at this interior system meant striking directly at the heart of Russian supply routes. The interior was not decorated with seats or dashboards like a vehicle review might describe, but with the constant movement of critical resources that kept battles going far from the bridge itself. Performance is where the Crimean Bridge had long stood out. Since the full-scale invasion began in 2022, Russia leaned heavily on this structure to perform as a constant, reliable supply line. Trains loaded with artillery shells and military equipment rolled across its tracks, and convoys of trucks kept the war effort flowing smoothly. Performance was measured in tonnage carried, in the uninterrupted stream of reinforcement, and in the reassurance it gave the Russian side that their grip on occupied territories was logistically possible. But the strike disrupted this performance severely. With part of the bridge damaged and traffic halted, Russia's military suddenly faced a slower and riskier alternative through land routes across occupied Zaporizhia and Kherson, routes exposed to Ukrainian artillery and drone attacks. The bridge's once flawless performance was now full of delays, dangers, and inefficiencies, which is exactly what Ukraine had aimed to achieve. Safety features were always expected to be among the strongest aspects of the Crimean Bridge. Russia invested in heavy protection, including surface-to-air missile systems, constant surveillance, and naval patrols around the waters below. It was supposed to be untouchable, too well defended for anyone to penetrate. And yet, the strike revealed that these safety systems were not impenetrable. Whether it was a drone attack from the sea, missiles fired from afar, or sabotage carried out with precision planning, the outcome showed the defenses were bypassed or overwhelmed. For Russia, this is a blow to credibility. If one of their most guarded assets could not be kept safe, what does that say about the rest of their infrastructure? For Ukraine, the failure of those safety measures was proof that innovation and determination could break through even the thickest walls of defense. The unique selling point of the Crimean Bridge was more than its function. For Russia, it was an iconic project, inaugurated personally by President Vladimir Putin in 2018, and presented as proof of Russia's power and permanence in Crimea. It was marketed to the Russian people as unshakable evidence that Crimea was now Russian forever. For Ukraine, the unique selling point in targeting it was the chance to reverse that image. By turning a proud monument into a burning target, Ukraine flipped its value. Suddenly, what had been a symbol of strength became a symbol of weakness. Internationally, Ukraine showed its allies that it could strike at the core of Russia's assets, and domestically, it boosted morale by proving that even Russia's most prized possession was not beyond reach. The price of this strike, however, goes beyond money. For Russia, the price includes billions of rubles in repairs, months of reconstruction, and the urgent diversion of resources away from other projects. The logistical cost is immense, as every disrupted convoy slows down operations on the battlefield. The political cost is perhaps even higher, as the strike exposed cracks in the image of Russian control and invited further questions from its own citizens about whether the war effort is as secure as claimed. For Ukraine, the price is also significant. Launching such a daring attack carries risks of retaliation, escalations, and the burden of planning and resources. Yet for Ukraine, the payoff far outweighs the cost, as the blow to Russia's pride in supply chain brings both strategic and psychological victory. In conclusion, the strike on the Crimean Bridge is not just another attack in the war, it is a powerful statement written in flames and steel. The exterior was scarred, showing the world that Russia's stronghold is not unbreakable. The interior lifeline was cut, proving that supplies and reinforcements are not guaranteed. The performance that once seemed flawless now limps under pressure, while the safety systems that promised invincibility were revealed to be insufficient. The unique selling point that once symbolized control has been turned into evidence of vulnerability. The price is steep for both sides, but the strategic message is clear. Russia's supply line may not be completely severed, but it is weakened in ways that could shape the future of battles in southern Ukraine. Ukraine has demonstrated boldness, innovation, and determination, reminding the world that even the largest structures can fall, and even the strongest defenses can be breached. This strike is not just about a bridge, it is about shifting the balance of a war where every symbol, every supply route, and every act of defiance matters deeply.